All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hi, everybody. My name is Leah Pearson, and I am an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. And I have the opportunity to share a little bit of my story with you tonight, as well as just wanted to share about this unique opportunity that we have available here that's been a huge blessing for my family. And I really believe that it can be a huge blessing for your family too. And that is why we are here. So, I am a homeschooling mom of three. And I live out in the country. You might actually I hear dogs barking behind me. The neighbors have hunting dogs. Um, so I live out in the country. I tutor at our local homeschool community, and my husband is actually in local government, and then he also travels overseas. Doing ministry work in clean water efforts. So we do all of that in addition to me working a Plexus business. And I actually started this business opportunity while my husband was in full-time ministry at a local church. And because, finances were tight in ministry, and in order for us to make ends meet, he was working multiple jobs and we rarely saw him. And as a homeschool mom, really, I felt like the only thing that we could do was him go out and find additional work and or pinch pennies, but I felt like we didn't have very many pennies to pinch. So starting this opportunity was appealing for me because I saw that it could be so much more than just a side gig, but rather it could be something that would provide for our family in really, really significant ways, while also just opening up opportunities for our family and more options for our family. So while in ministry, we had zero extra money for anything. It was hard to even put food on the table. And I know with today's economy, that probably is relatable with a lot of people. Grocery prices are sky high right now. We had no emergency fund. We'd be scrambling every time, something came up, and we just honestly prayed that nothing would break and nothing would need to be replaced. And ironically, 2 weeks into starting my Plexus business, our fridge actually decided to die. It had been a trusty fridge that had been with us for many years. And we reluctantly went to the store and picked out a new one just out of necessity. And as my husband left to go pick it up, this is a pivotal moment for me. As soon as he pulled out of the driveway, like I'm seeing him drive down, I had a ding on my phone and I opened it up, and it was actually my first paycheck with Plexus. And that paycheck completely covered the cost of our brand new fridge with money left over. And what we thought was going to be a financial setback, actually, because we didn't have an emergency fund, turned into really just what I felt like was God timing, because the exact amount that we needed was already covered in that first paycheck. And since then, my paycheck has continued to grow. And I've been able to pay off student loans within the first 3 months of my business. I was able to pay those off. And within the 4 month mark of starting my business was covering all of our bills as a family of five. And I really think that that fridge was just a wake up call of here's an emergency that could have happened, but look at how this provided for that. I really felt like that was a time where I was like, you know what, life has changed, and I'm super, super grateful for that. So here's some pictures of my family here. So as I said, my paycheck has allowed my husband to take time off from ministry or take time off from work, excuse me, to travel overseas and do ministry. He's been to Pakistan multiple times the last few years to minister, to baptize people, to do things like that. He's a part of clean water efforts in multiple countries, and we've been able to pay all of those things out of pocket rather than raising support, which has been a dream come true for us. So very, very thankful for that. And as I homeschool the kids, I've been able to purchase the best curriculums. I've not had to skimp on what I offer them. We're paying for extracurricular activities without stress, and we continue to be able to provide our kids with opportunity, which is something that I want to be able to do. And I know other moms probably feel that same way. And with this business opportunity, I've also received a vehicle stipend, which you can pick out a luxury car. with that, but instead I actually opted for the cash. So if you see the picture down below with the tractor in it, we've used those finances to cover the cost of our Kubota tractor that we buzz around on our 30 acres here. And it also covers the cost of my minivan. So I call it a 2-for-1 deal. Rather than getting a luxury car, we've got two things that serve our family really, really well. We no longer struggle to put food on the table. We've been able to give back in bigger ways, which I'm very thankful for. And I'm passionate about that because I know what it's like to live in lack. And that's one of my biggest desires, is to have more than enough so that we're able to bless others out of our overflow. And one thing that I did want to mention is the motto of our company, which I think displays the character and the heart of Plexus, is that if you're blessed, be a blessing. And that meant so much to me early on in my business when I heard the heart behind what we do. So I wanted to mention that to you tonight as well. So I'm now at the top less than 1% of our company, and my family's in a whole new place. And I've been able to mentor several women to successful positions as well, which really just equates to several families bringing in significant income every month that pays for Taekwondo lessons, pays for music lessons, ballet, grocery money, moms being able to stay home with their kids when they didn't want to go back to work, private education, things like that. And that's all because 4 years ago, I had a chat with somebody about this business opportunity, and they shared a little bit similar to what I'm sharing tonight. And I decided to take a step forward with it. I took a step of faith when my friend had this conversation with me. And so that's why I wanted to sit down with you tonight, because I believe, looking back, I'm in a completely different place than I was 4 years ago. And I believe that that is possible for you and your family as well. So why this company? Why this opportunity? Let's talk a little bit about it. And this is just going to kind of be a brief overview here, because for the sake of time, I don't want to go into too many details, but just a couple quick things. Why did I choose Plexus? There are so many different opportunities out there, so many different companies out there, and integrity was a huge piece that I was looking for. I knew that if I was going to put my hand to something, I wanted it to be worthwhile, and I wanted it to be something that I could proudly stand behind. And I wanted it to be something that would build and last. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But I personally have met the founders and the president of Plexus. They are wonderful family men. I told you, the motto, blessed to be a blessing, that comes from their heart. They love blessing others. We've been a super generous company from day one. And if you look on here, we're a debt-free company. We've donated millions through Plexus Charities. All the products are made in the US. We have patents on our products. We own the gut health space, and we have products that people need, and they're consumable products. So that makes for a very healthy business. We also have scientifically backed products. I feel like I keep saying the products are amazing. They've also changed my health. If you would like to hear a little bit more about my health testimony, I can send that to you after this. But we have these great products because we've got an acclaimed medical advisory board, just phenomenal people working within this company. So amazing, amazing, amazing. Why this opportunity? I wanted to talk a little bit about this as well. So residual income is one of the first things that I put on there. And I think people have heard that, but maybe you haven't thought about the power of residual income. With residual income, you're not just trading hours for dollars. What's beautiful about this business is it's going to compound, and it's going to build, and it's something that you can literally leave as a legacy for your children and your children's children. So you're actually getting paid on work that you've previously done, and it continues to build and compound over time. So it's not just the hours for dollars situation. I also love that you can work this from anywhere, and the flexibility of this. As a busy mom, I am homeschooling my kids. I'm running them to sports. I have several friends that work full-time and do this around their current jobs. Some friends who are actually taking classes in college currently and doing this to make income on the side. The beauty of it is you can do this around whatever your life is currently right now. So I can make great use of my time while I am waiting at piano lessons, or while my kids are finishing up soccer. I can actually be making money at that point in time, and that is huge. This opportunity also offers unparalleled flexibility as far as when you work. So you can work from anywhere. You can set your own hours, and then you can adjust your commitment based on your current life situation as well. So whatever your goals are, whatever life is looking like, you can be flexible around that. The flexibility is perfect for those looking for balance with work and family and responsibilities and studies and any other commitments that you have. I also love the low startup cost and that there's no inventory that you have to carry or have to handle or have to buy up front. I literally started earning money with this opportunity the day after I clicked enroll. I didn't have to go and store or handle or ship any inventory, and that was huge for me. That was a huge relief as a busy mom. I didn't want to have to pile a bunch of inventory somewhere. Another benefit is there are luxurious trips and luxurious vehicles. I already shared about how we personally opted into the tractor instead of a luxury car. To each their own, but also there's yearly trips to luxurious places like Hawaii, just real bucket list type trips. And I really, I think that there are so many side gig options out there, but I truly believe that things like the vehicle stipend, the trips, the compounding income that can come in, those are all huge. And that doesn't even mention the other blessings that I've had with this opportunity. I've had multiple shopping sprees that I've been sent on. We have had iPads and computers and all things like that that I've been blessed with. We've been able to use for kids' school, however it fits your family. It has been incredible. And all of those extra perks, you don't get sent to Punta Cana. You don't get sent to Hawaii just by selling something or opening up a who knows what store. This is truly unique and really what sets this company apart and this opportunity apart. And I really think that those things show you the heart of the company towards the ambassadors, that they really value us and take great care of us. Lastly, there's no income cap, which is really why we encourage you to dream really big here. So your income potential is unlimited based on you and what you want to put into this opportunity, which is pretty mind-blowing. So with no cap, it's your time to dream. So if you are on this call and you have a pen next to you, even if it's just a scratch piece of paper, I really encourage you to just jot a couple of these things down that I mentioned to you as we wrap up here. Somebody helped me start dreaming 4 years ago, and I have not stopped. And I think in the busyness of life, we can easily put ourselves and our desires on the back burner. And for me, I didn't allow myself to dream because I had already capped myself. I had put safeguards on my heart. I had put limits on our finances. And I honestly did not think that I could successfully contribute to our finances because I already had my hand put to multiple things. So I just didn't think that I had time, if I'm going to be honest. And maybe you feel that way too. You wonder if you could successfully do this with what is already on your plate. And I encourage you to talk to the person that invited you here, and they can share more about how this could fit into your day because it's unique to you and your situation and also to your goals. But if you're feeling a stirring in your heart, I want you to lean in. Because you're here for a reason, and I absolutely believe that your whole life can be changed and that this can be an incredible start for you as well. It's really time to dream. So I want you to think about this question that was posed to me when I first considered this opportunity 4 years ago. If your calendar was empty and your bank account was full, what would your days look like? So if you had all the time in the world and your bank account was overflowing, there was not a limit to your spending or to what you were able to give to, or what you were able to provide for your family, how would your life look differently? It's really, really hard to even fathom that, isn't it? But I think it's something that's really powerful to sit on. If you could truly design your days, what would they look like? Where would you go? What would you do? Who would be there with you? What would you completely pay off? Like, do you have some debts lingering? What would it feel like if that was a zero balance? That's how I felt about my student loans. They had been lingering for so long because of medical bills. and to be able to pay those off was such a relief. So think about it. What would you love to have be a zero balance right now? What would you go and invest in? What gifts would you be able to buy for Christmas coming up? I know it's not even June yet, but it's probably wise to start planning in advance for that, right? What would you do? What would Christmas look like? How would it feel if you were able to slide your debit card after taking all your kids to the dentist and not worrying about if there's enough on there? Not having to worry about it. How would it feel if you were a yes mom, or if you were able to take bucket list trips with your spouse, like going to Hawaii, something like that? How much relief would you feel? Because I think that is a feeling that I definitely was chasing after when I started this business. I wanted relief. How much relief would you feel if you were able to bring in an extra $500 a month with this opportunity? How many more memories would you be able to make with your family with an extra $2,000 a month with your family? How much debt would you be able to pay off, or how many charities could you bless with an extra $10,000 a month? These are all questions that I had to lean in and I asked myself as I was weighing the idea of jumping into this opportunity. And I'd love to have you connect with the person that invited you here and share those answers. I know that those are intimate dreams that you have, but I think it's really powerful to share those answers with somebody. So questions are a good thing. Are you wondering if you have what it takes to do this? I know that I had that feeling, kind of wondering, you know what, do I have the right personality? Do I have enough time? All of those things. I had similar thoughts, and I found the answers when I leaned in and I was willing to ask those questions. So I wanted to end with just encouraging you to ask away. I found I didn't have to be naturally outgoing or know a lot of people. I didn't need to sacrifice my family or what was important to me. This isn't something that takes a lot of time out of your day. It takes consistent effort for sure. And it's absolutely something, though, that can be worked around your current schedule, whether you're working full-time already or maybe you're a stay-at-home mom like myself. So lean in and ask the questions, and you're going to be able to make a solid decision this evening. So reach out to the person that invited you here. And I know they probably want to hear some of the answers of those questions that I asked you a minute ago. And then really, I just encourage you to ask them any and all the questions because it's hard to cover it all here. And then lastly, I wanted to invite you. I have an exclusive mentorship, that starts on Monday, where I will be mentoring those who are ready to take the reins and get to work. And I'll give you the exact steps that you need to make your first $300 with Plexus. That's the first step. And then you also will have all of the tools that you need to be successful in the upcoming weeks and months as well, which means you're going to start moving forward towards those big dreams that we were just talking about. And I asked you to think about this business. If you start it, it will be built to last. It's going to open doors in your life that you never thought were possible. It's going to grow you, provide an incredible community of people to surround you. And I really, truly believe that it can be an answer to prayer for you. So if you're willing to learn some new skills, consistently work hard, and if you're a self-starter, if that's you, you have to have those things. But if that is you, I would love to partner with you starting Monday for my mentorship. So reach out and we can discuss that a little bit more. Thank you all for joining, and hope you have an amazing night.